Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video here. I was going to sit down and do it on Bandicam, but I don't think I need to be that, well, be as dramatic as I was going to cue it up there with pictures and jokes and such, because I gotta be honest, I don't know if Infinity and Wargaming is really for me anymore. I'll say anymore because when I got into Infinity a few years ago, it was so that I could hang out with some friends of mine that I met when I used to DM Pathfinder for them, and I was the only friend of theirs who had a table big enough to play Infinity on, and so played with them for a while, and then eventually decided to buy my own models, and nobody played Toha, and that's why I started playing Toha. But I don't hang out with those guys too much anymore. I still see a couple of them at tournaments, but I don't, I guess we've moved farther apart, and I don't know. I'm a pretty disagreeable character, so maybe the friendship was never as strong as I remember it being, but kind of had a 1-2 punch this week. First thing was, well, I think the first thing was this forum post this guy wrote asking about the gender of the robots in Infinity. And I mean, nowadays that question isn't, I mean, 15 years ago when I was a young kid growing up on sci-fi shows, that would have been interesting question, but nowadays people are only asking that kind of thing. I mean, really, because they have some weird freaking fascination with gender politics that I'm not on board with. I'm not on board with, and I gave an answer to it as the best that I know, because I've been in this scene for a while, about the EI being essentially genderless. And he was like, okay, well, what should I think about this thing and that thing? And I'm like, I mean, you really shouldn't think about it that much, because it's not real, but also it's weird and creepy to daydream about the obliteration of genders. And I knew if I posted that, I'd probably cause a storm, but I mean, that's never stopped me before. so I hit post. And as soon as I posted, I knew someone was gonna reply and basically say that was a good idea to destroy the genders. And God, that thing is like, that's like the flat earth witch burning thing of modern times. I think this idea of if you say gender equality and you mean that there is literally no difference in the genders aside from some biological thing, it's about as bad and dumb as a flat earth theory. And I had a great example of that this Sunday when I was hanging out, reconnecting with an old friend named Patrick, who's a super skinny, nerdy guy, philosophy major. Not a philosophy major because he's one of these lazy, useless people who would have an easy degree, but he really knows his stuff about philosophy. He's the kind of guy that when you're talking to him, he's just like, you can see his like clockwork just like pulling out like eventualities of everything you're saying, and then if you're wrong, he's gonna find that and blow you apart for it. So, but never like meanly or vainly. So he's always awesome to talk to. But I was telling him about this because I'm really getting tired of the weirdo gender politics stuff, and I was with him and his roommate. He's a skinny white dude, and she's a big, like, literally twice his size black girl. And I just mentioned pretty casually, like, Patrick, you could probably beat her in an arm wrestle. Like, that's how stark the differences are in the genders, just on the one point of muscle mass difference. And he was like, really? And we were in the middle of a game of Settlers of Catan, so he didn't do it right then and there, but after the game we cleared the table and I moved so they could sit across from each other, and they put their arms down to wrestle. I was like, my money's on Patrick. And I wrestled, and it was hard because she's a big, strong girl, but he beat her. And he looked over at me like, he had this look on his face like I just like told them that I took his, like I stole from him, or that I was like cheating on him with his girlfriend. It really, I could tell it really blew him away. And no amount of social programming is ever going to undo what's there and normal in people. And the other thing is, I know with these creeps who want to blow up the genders, like they all would love to have a hot, feminine, busty girlfriend. They all would. But I guess because they want to make fat girls feel less sad, that they think that the best thing to do, or they're just insecure about being skinny little beta male weaklings, that the thing that they want to do is kind of the Cain and Abel story. They think that if they just blow out the whole value structure, then everyone can have, I don't know. It's really freaking creepy and weird. And I know even with the people I do play with nowadays, it's kind of like, someone made this comment there, he's like, hey, when you're done with the game, I call dibs on your Toha. I'm like, I'm not quitting the game. But I was like, that kind of points to something which I guess I've had a feeling of, which is like, it's like everyone's waiting for me to misspeak again, and they can kick me out of the club. And yeah, and then combine that with, I showed up to the Infinity Game Group on Thursday, and nobody was there. Someone did eventually show up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we got a good game in. But no, it's like, maybe it's just not for me. You know, I didn't want to, I'm not 30 yet, but I didn't want to, as a 30-year-old, be some guy who was blowing every weekend painting a desk full of miniatures. And I certainly don't want to have to be fighting off creepy gender iconoclasts whenever I'm playing the game, or watching what I'm saying, because someone... It's just... I work blue-collar work. I'm not a really blue-collar guy, but I do blue-collar work. So I'm around a lot of man's men and a lot of normal people, like clients and otherwise, all the time. And this weird obsession with demolishing everything that's normal is not me. And I don't know. So I'm thinking I might link it here in the video description. I'm going to give it a few more, well, at least a few more hours thought, but I'm probably just going to fire sale most of my miniatures. I'll probably keep my Toha, maybe, because I might be moving out of the state, which would help. But I don't know. Maybe it's just also the nerd thing. Like, nerds, I mean, I've been a reluctant nerd for most of my life, and I mean, I thought I was a normal guy until junior high, and then I found out that the athletes were like the normal cool people, and I was just some, you know, just another skinny guy who played video games. But there's something about nerds stereotypically that I've not seen eye to eye with, and that's kind of this weird contempt for the general public. And I don't share that. And wargamers seem to have that, like, at least in this area, very, very strongly. So I don't know. I have another battle report to load tonight. It was Combined Army versus Aleph, me playing Combined. So I'll probably put that up. But yeah, I don't know. This might be the twilight of Lonely Artichoke Wargame blogging. Maybe I'll get into comic books or something. But yeah, so there's that. Talk to you guys later.